It's Monday, June 29th. This is CTV at 6. Here's what's making news tonight. New data shows the Maritimes is home to Canada's most expensive barbecue cookout. The whole community remains in a twist over the wild wind that blew through Friday.
Isolated showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Canada Day, we'll see some showers move through as well.
Live from our Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 6. Here is Todd Battis.
Good evening. With Canada Day around the corner, barbecue season is in full swing. With that sweet news comes the sour. As you plan your holiday cookout, new data shows grilling is more expensive in the Maritimes than anywhere else in the country. CTV's Vanessa Wright looks at why.
It's not the news Maritimers wanted to hear just before Canada Day.
It's very, very, very expensive.
We have the highest priced chicken and pork in the country and only a few cents behind BC for ground beef.
Food inflation has always been a problem for our region, and meat counter economics are absolutely pointing to that problem right now, for sure.
He says the cause is likely a slow in transportation and production.
They're not matching their quotas, and that's really pushing prices higher.
Which means shoppers aren't buying what they want, instead settling for whatever's cheaper.
I came to buy fish instead of meat. I love meat, but then because of the prices, I wouldn't buy meat in superstore, so I bought fish instead of meat.
Chicken and fish is mostly in our diet, and so it's not a matter of really switching the protein, but it's just a matter of looking out for the best prices.
It's caused a bit of a stir for local meat shops who offer quality but can't always compete with cost.
Basically, the going rate for beef has steadily been increasing over the last few years. It is especially bad right now, but we've done everything we can to keep our prices as consistent as we can.
Charlebois says people can expect more promotions and ticketed items ahead of Canada Day and throughout the summer, perhaps a compromise for what will be a pricey barbecue season.
And as for chicken, we are expecting modest increases over the next several months due to supply issues. We are expecting prices to stabilize for poultry by the time we get to the fall. So that's certainly good news there.
And if you're wondering when is the best time to cash in on those deals, you'll likely have the best luck on Mondays and Wednesdays. That's when you'll hopefully save a few bucks, which we could all use right now, including me, Todd.
Yeah, we certainly can. Vanessa Wright leading us off in Halifax tonight. Thank you. Okay, in the web poll, we've cooked up this. Are high meat prices affecting your Canada Day grilling plans? And your options are yes, I'm cutting down on barbecue meat this year. No, I'm still buying whatever meat I want, or perhaps you don't plan on grilling meat anyway. Let us know at the website. And after 6:30, the food professor, Sylvain Charlebois, who you saw there, will be in studio with us. We'll talk more about pricing, what's behind it. And we have more reporting at ctvnewsatlantic.ca. The victim of a fatal Friday night shooting in Dartmouth has been identified. Police say it was not a random attack. CTV's Emma Convey spoke with people in the neighborhood today.
Children out playing on bikes, neighbors walking their dogs, and people sitting at their doorsteps. Today it appears to be a quiet neighborhood, but Friday night the scene was quite different.
I heard a series of bangs in quick succession, and honestly I thought it was fireworks. I didn't think that it even was gunshots until I saw the sirens come flying by.
It was around 10:30 p.m. Friday when Halifax Regional Police responded to a shooting on Leahy Road in North End, Dartmouth, an incident that has now been ruled a homicide.
Upon arrival, our officers located a man suffering from gunshot wound. EHS responded and pronounced the man deceased on scene.
Police say this was not a random incident and the investigation is in its early stages. Police are asking the public to come forward with information. No arrests have been made.
We have officers that do regular patrols in that area. And again, if anyone wants to approach them and speak to an officer, we encourage that as well.
Neighbors say crime isn't uncommon in this area, but it's getting better.
Not last summer, but the summer previous to that, there were quite a few shootings in the neighborhood. And yeah, I had actually thought it had been a while since something like this had gone down, but sure enough.
Neighbors are concerned for the safety of children as many families live in the area, and the Boys and Girls Club backs on to this group of homes.
Stray bullets don't discriminate, and it can easily go through like siding like this on a house. So anytime that there's shootings in the neighborhood, it's everyone's concern.
I also spoke with another neighbor who said around 10:15 Friday night he heard gunshots, a commotion, and a woman yelling. A short time later, police arrived on the scene. Emma Convey, CTV News, Dartmouth.
A New Brunswick man serving a 3-year prison sentence has died. Correctional Service Canada said today that 65-year-old Dominic Tremblay died in custody. The inmate started serving his sentence 2.5 weeks ago at the Spring Hill Institution. New Brunswick RCMP previously said Tremblay was charged with possession of child sexual abuse material and exploitation. That was in 2024. He pleaded guilty last fall. The cause of death was not shared with the public. A man from the Truro area has died after a crash in East Hants yesterday. RCMP responded to a 2-vehicle crash in South Maitland just after 2 in the afternoon. A southbound motorcycle and a northbound sedan collided. The driver of that motorcycle, a 71-year-old man from Lower Truro, died at the scene. The 2 people in the car were not injured. Highway 215 was closed for several hours. It has since reopened. They're still talking about the wild weather Friday night in one part of New Brunswick. The winds whipped up into what is thought to have been a rare tornado to touch down here. CTV's Avery McRae has more.
Kim Bowes remembers it like any other Friday night. She was sitting on her back deck with family enjoying the rainfall shortly after 8:30 when the storm took a turn.
I looked and I'm like, oh my God, look at these trees, they're all blowing. And then it was just the sound, like it almost sounded like a blender. Then you could see the formation of the darkness of the clouds and then almost the circular rotation of it. And then across the river, and it was coming towards us.
She grabbed her phone and caught these images of a small tornado forming on the other side of the Paulette River.
Everything here lifted up and we shut the door, and all I was concerned about is, oh my gosh, are we gonna lose power? Is the windows gonna break? Is something gonna go through?
But outside of a few broken trees around the property, her house was spared. She posted her videos on Facebook when the reaction started pouring in.
People living 2 houses up, didn't even see any of the activity. And then I was talking to my neighbor up the street, and he said, I was sleeping in my recliner, didn't know that any of this was going on 2 houses down.
Her video also caught the eye of many storm organizations, including the Northern Tornadoes Project. Project Director David Sills confirmed the twister and rated its severity at EF0, the lowest on the scale. He says the winds likely did not even reach 110 kilometers an hour.
I was told that this is the first video of a tornado in Atlantic Canada since 2024. Now my son-in-law and my daughter, like we all want to get t-shirts now. 2026 tornado.
The Northern Tornado Project says they will not be sending a survey team to the area given the funnel size. CTV did reach out to Environment Canada for its assessment of the potential twister, but did not hear back by airtime. Of all the Atlantic provinces, New Brunswick has seen the most tornadoes since 2017 with 10, according to the Northern Tornadoes Project. 5 of those came just 2 years ago in 2024, while last year there were no confirmed tornado touchdowns. Avery McRae, CTV News, near Petitcodiac, New Brunswick.
That's a look at downtown Moncton right now, 26 degrees. Haven't said that for a while. Kayla Mitchell joins us. No threat of tornadoes in the region tonight, I'm guessing, but you are watching some severe weather.
Yeah, we do have a little bit of a strong thunderstorm that's developed in through Victoria County in New Brunswick, and that has triggered a severe thunderstorm watch. Let's take a closer look at that thunderstorm. You can see it's just drifting towards the south. It looks like it is going to be passing just off towards the east of Plaster Rock. It does have the potential of producing some hail in that severe thunderstorm watch. Environment Canada says maybe hail of up to around 1 or 2 centimeters in diameter. It's within an hour. It's going to be passing through the 108. If it happens to hold together over the next couple of hours, it could approach the Boys Town area in New Brunswick. So severe thunderstorm watch for that one. There's also some thunderstorms up around the Gaspé Peninsula in through Quebec, and a chance of those drifting towards the Acadian Peninsula over the next few hours. Now, these are being driven by daytime heating, and as we lose that, as we move through this evening, those showers, those thunderstorms are going to be coming to an end. Another thing that I wanted to talk about in the sky for New Brunswick for today, look at this darker shade of gray you can see here around northern parts of the province. That is a thin haze of wildfire smoke from some out-of-control wildfires up in through northern areas of Quebec, and that wildfire smoke has been drifting down. Not expected to impact air quality, and over the next 24 hours, that little thin haze that has moved in aloft is going to be shifting a little bit further towards the east, so no big impacts from that. Overnight, there's going to be a few clouds around some fog patches, but there should be some decent viewing conditions by the time the full strawberry moon rises over the southeastern horizon, and it should be fully above the southeastern horizon by around 10:45 p.m., though still pretty low in the sky. If before that, you can spot Venus setting on the western horizon this evening. And if you are a very early riser, there are a couple passes from the International Space Station tomorrow morning, one at 2:31 a.m. and the second pass at 4:07 a.m. Todd, I know you're getting up for those ones.
Oh, yeah, sure. It's interesting about the smoke, though. I haven't heard much about those wildfires.
Yeah, I just noticed it on satellite today and thought it was, you know, worth just dropping a little note about.
Okay, we'll catch up with you a little later. I know everybody's interested in that Canada Day forecast, so we'll talk about that. Thank you. We're going to stay with weather in one respect. A corner of the Maritimes is worried about damage from a previous storm that could fuel destruction this summer. In and around Lewisburg, trees felled by Hurricane Fiona pose a wildfire threat. CTV's Ryan McDonald has more.
Go for a drive in the Lewisburg area and there are downed trees and plenty of them left over from post-tropical storm Fiona nearly 4 years ago.
Nervous, scared, sort of thing.
At his home in Big Lorraine, Carter Stevens has a $1 million view, but on other sides of his property is dead wood that he worries is a fire hazard.
Certainly we'd like to see it, some of it cleared up, and that's why I think there's the minimum, I think, should be done is a 100-meter clearance on each side of the road.
If you flew over that area, it just looks like matchsticks.
This associate professor from Mount Allison University recently met with dozens of people who live in a wide area stretching from Lewisburg to Gabarouse. After last year's dry summer and drought conditions, she wants the province to come up with some sort of fire management plan for those living here.
If it goes up in flames, it's seriously a risk for the safety of people. It's a public safety issue.
In a statement to CTV News, the Department of Natural Resources says the cleanup programs have helped address more than 250 hectares of windblown and damaged private lands in the Gabarouse and Port Morion area, adding that while they understand why residents may be concerned, much of the fine fuel from 4 years ago has broken down naturally, reducing the fire risk. Back at his home, Carter Stevens adds that there aren't many ways out of his community if something were to happen.
We're at a loss. We keep our fingers crossed that it's not going to happen.
The Department of Natural Resources added that the current fire weather index for the Cape Breton region and for Nova Scotia in general is low, although conditions can change quickly. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Lewisburg, Nova Scotia.
Starting at midnight, New Brunswickers will have a new virtual health care provider. The province says Virtual Care NB will offer consultations 7 days a week by either phone or video or online chat. That will replace eVisit NB, the service which was created in New Brunswick and launched during the pandemic to keep people out of emergency departments. The province signed a 2-year, $26 million contract with Luxembourg-based Found Ever to take over virtual health care. The province says the company, which also runs 811 in the province, will improve virtual health care service. Now, the opposition has been critical of the switch, saying there was nothing wrong with what was in place and that the new provider has received a recent credit rating downgrade. Safety and security of residents is the top concern in New Brunswick nursing homes. That's the find of a new provincial report. CTV's Anna Mandan has the details.
A lack of staffing is a major concern for New Brunswick nursing homes. That's according to a recently released report on safety and security in the homes.
We have to do better as a society, and we have to do better across the board when it comes to our seniors.
The report also highlights a need for better security systems and building designs, including updating security cameras and increasing resources and systems to respond to aggressive residents. It comes in response to alleged sexual assaults at a St. John nursing home. A 69-year-old man is facing 14 counts of sexual assault.
Enough is enough. I think it's time that we deal with this issue.
The executive director of the province's Coalition for Seniors welcomes the report, but says it lacks timelines and accountability metrics.
There's no real commitment to move forward, and I think it's time that we address these issues.
Lausier is also concerned that under current provincial targets, it may take a decade for hours of care in New Brunswick nursing homes to match Nova Scotia's.
That to us is not acceptable, and for the residents that are in the homes, that's definitely not acceptable.
The province's seniors minister plans to speak with industry representatives in the coming weeks, but did not give a timeline for next steps.
I will continue to working with our partners to build a stronger and safe and more compassionate care home system for our seniors.
According to the report, the Social Development Department will create a community of practice for nursing home operators, introduce new legislation, and raise awareness about how to report concerns. Anna Mandan, CTV News, Fredericton.
Port of St. John CEO says there's momentum in St. John Harbour for the year ahead. That's following a banner year for cargo and cruise ships. The Port of St. John held its annual general meeting this morning with 2025 described as a defining year, which included a 30% increase in container cargo traffic.
2026 is off to a good start. We're a little bit lighter in the container volumes than we were this time last year, but activity is picking up. We had a lot of weather-related challenges earlier in the year and some blank sailings, but conversely, potash numbers are higher than they were this time last year.
A $100 million cold storage facility officially opened this month at the port, bringing 100 new jobs with it. With the weekend over, our eyes are now focused on the weather for Canada Day. Kaylin Mitchell will look at that. But first, isn't summer camp supposed to be for everyone?
A child attending a summer camp because of a disability shouldn't be an issue.
One family fights to have their child included in a summertime tradition. We'll hear from them after this break.
This is the Campfire Conditions Report brought to you by Pine Acres RV, where customers become friends. If you are in the province of New Brunswick, you are currently allowed to have a campfire, though if you are in Kent County, the hours are restricted to be between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. For the province of Nova Scotia, most are allowed to have a campfire between 7 p.m. and 8 a.m., with the exceptions Cumberland, Colchester, Cape Breton, and Richmond counties, where you can have a campfire between 2 p.m. and 8 a.m. And for Prince Edward Island, campfires are currently permitted, with domestic brush burning allowed between the hours of 2 p.m. and 8 a.m. Check in on municipal restrictions and bylaws as well.
Summer camp is a seasonal staple in many maritime households. For parents, it's often a crucial piece of their childcare puzzle. But in PEI, one family says their son was denied access to a public program. CTV's Maria Saru reports on why they say he was left out and the changes they're calling for.
Summer is in full swing in the Mackenzie's backyard. 9-year-old Toby was supposed to be starting at a camp run by the city of Charlottetown this Monday. But earlier this month, the family says they got a call telling them he can't attend because staff aren't trained to care for him.
Our initial response was shock. It's 2026. A child attending a summer camp because of a disability shouldn't be an issue.
Toby has Down syndrome, but his parents say that didn't stop him from participating last year. And the city is now pointing to one-on-one support he received during a single field trip. The Mackenzies say that was an exception, not an everyday reality at camp. And Toby doesn't need that level of help at school during recess or music and gym classes.
Who is deciding who gets to go, and how is that decision process being made, and where is the line?
After the family posted about the experience on Facebook, other parents flooded the comments with their own stories and concerns about access to public programs for children with disabilities. In a statement sent to CTV News, the City of Charlottetown said that due to privacy considerations, it can't comment on the circumstances of any individual registration, adding it's committed to making recreation programs as inclusive as reasonably possible and is willing to work with families to support participation. Toby has somewhere else to go this week, but the Mackenzies are meeting with the city soon. They want staff to speak with families before making decisions and be trained to handle accessibility needs for all children, including those with visible and invisible disabilities.
We just ultimately feel like maybe people wouldn't be so afraid of disability if they were more exposed to it.
Maria Saru, CTV News, Pleasant Grove, Prince Edward Island.
Get the Maritimes top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
Speed bumps, signs, cameras. Communities across the country are struggling to stop drivers from racing through neighborhoods. CTV's Ryan McDonald reports on a move to curb the problem in Cape Breton.
The sign says it all. A resident or residents of this neighborhood in Sydney's South End have taken it upon themselves to try and get drivers to slow down.
I think it's funny. I think it's hilarious.
Sherry Fogarty lives nearby. What she and her neighbors are less amused by is when vehicles roll through stop signs or simply don't stop at all.
Overnight, during the overnight hours, you can hear them just buzzing up, speeding like crazy. That's when it's, you hear more because the car's going so fast.
I live very close to that stop sign, and there's people flying down this road at 60, 70, 80 kilometers an hour. And they've even seen them going by side, racing.
Like most residential areas, the speed limit here is 50 kilometers an hour. Some of the people who live here say that over the years they have contacted police and other officials about the issue, but the dangerous driving continues.
It's been going on for years. It's not like it just started yesterday.
Yeah, we hear this all over the city.
The MLA for the area has a sign in Sydney's South End asking people to slow down, but says that it's a problem all over the municipality. And with school out for summer, he says that safety on the streets is even more important.
If there is a concern in your neighborhood, reach out to your elected representatives, whether it's municipal or provincial. We're always in constant contact with the local authorities to talk about speed concerns in neighborhoods. It's something that matters to all of us.
Back in this neighborhood, while residents would like to see more tickets handed out, their main concern is
that someone's going to have an accident there and get hurt, seriously. And when that happens, it's going to be too late.
And while the people we spoke with weren't sure who put up this sign, its message is one they were happy to stop and talk about. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
Still to come tonight, Sylvain Charlebois has more on those high meat prices for Maritimers. And we have health and medical news in the Lifeline. But next, Kaelin's forecast, and has summer weather finally arrived? What can we expect for Canada Day? That's next.
I ran upstairs, I could hear the pitter patter on the roof, and it was just unreal. I just never experienced anything like it before in my life.
We hauled this out of the video vault. There was a cleanup underway in southern New Brunswick 35 years ago today. A freak late June hailstorm in 1991. That's hail, all right, softball size. They hit parts of Charlotte County, and they hit hard enough to break windows, as you saw, and dent vehicles.
Yeah.
Hardest hit community, Barter Settlement, though the hail also caused damage in nearby St. Stephen. Look at that.
So hailstones that large would be extremely rare here in the Maritimes, but would certainly be capable of doing a lot of damage, as we're seeing, certainly in the video there. There was some concerns with some hail with that thunderstorm that was up in Victoria County. Not nearly that big, though. They were talking about maybe potentially up to around 1 centimeter size hail in diameter. But an update on that thunderstorm. It has fizzled out. It has come to an end, and that severe thunderstorm watch has ended as well.
And if folks want to see more of that from 1991, you can go to our Video Vault section. It's all laid out there on the website. It's a great video, and I don't remember that. I was around, but I don't.
That's big hail.
It's hard to think you'd forget something like that. A little more settled.
Yes. Let's go and take a look at what's coming up for Canada Day, though. That's what we want to talk about, right?
Sure do.
right now, kind of looking like the most unsettled day of the week for the Maritimes. There's lots of summery days coming up in the extended forecast. One of the days, though, where it looks like showers are likely to be a little bit more widespread in the region, unfortunately, is going to be Wednesday, especially for the morning hour. There's a warm front. It's going to be coming up to the northeastern United States. It's the lift from that warm front in the atmosphere that is going to start off Wednesday, Canada Day, in the morning with pretty cloudy conditions for the Maritimes, some showers, and some fog. Now, the good news is we move from Wednesday morning into Wednesday afternoon. It does look like some of those showers are going to be clearing up, and we'd be down to basically a chance of showers in the afternoon. Any showers that did pop up Wednesday afternoon, more spotty in their coverage. Temperatures going to be cooling off a little bit for Wednesday as well. Most of the high temperatures will be around high teens, low 20s, except warmer in western areas of New Brunswick where the sun breaks through there. Some of the high temperatures getting up between 24 and 27 degrees. But additionally, in the west and northwest of New Brunswick, late afternoon into early evening, they'll have to watch for some returning showers, and with those showers, a risk of some thunderstorms. So highest chance of showers in general for the Maritimes Wednesday morning, but then we might have to watch for something else to pop up late afternoon to evening, especially in northern and western areas of New Brunswick. That's the Canada Day outlook at this point. Well, let's take a look at our forecast over the next 24 hours. We've had a couple showers, a couple thunderstorms pop up in a few parts of the Maritimes as we've gone through the afternoon, now into the evening. Those are coming to an end as we're losing our daytime heating. Overnight, a few clouds and some fog patches around for the region. A little bit of a stuffy night. Humidity is a little bit high, not the highest we get, not making it feel super uncomfortable in the Maritimes, but there is some mugginess to the air. And because of that, for Tuesday, when we get some daytime heating, there's a chance, afternoon to evening, once again, of seeing some showers and some thunderstorms pop up, maybe even a little bit of a higher chance than there was today. So for tomorrow, the risk of thunderstorms, it's going to be in the province of New Brunswick, as well as Prince Edward Island, central and eastern areas of Nova Scotia. For Prince Edward Island, the chance of a shower or small thunderstorm is actually highest in the morning. For the remainder of the Maritimes, afternoon into evening. Taking a look at how these clouds sort of develop, when we have this warm, humid air near the surface and a little bit of cooler, drier air aloft, they start off as little puffy cumulus clouds, and they start to tower up, towering cumulus clouds, and then when they develop into a thunderstorm, that's a cumulonimbus cloud, and I actually have a great viewer picture of a cumulonimbus to show you at the end of the program for tonight. Taking a look at low temperatures for tonight, they're mostly going to be around the low to mid-teens. Highs for tomorrow in the north of New Brunswick, mostly up in the high 20s, in some cases feeling into the low 30s with the humidity, 26 degrees in the coastline. Fredericton tomorrow near 29, but feeling closer to 32. 27 for St. John, 28 degrees for Moncton, the southeast. Prince Edward Island for tomorrow, most of the high temperatures between 18 and 21. And in Cape Breton, the high temperatures, high teens and low 20s. But expecting some mid to high 20s on the north shore of mainland Nova Scotia. On the eastern shore around the coastline, most high temperatures between 20 and 25 degrees. 27 for Halifax, 28 for Truro, 26 for Amherst, the Annapolis Valley tomorrow with highs near 28 degrees. And on the south shore of Nova Scotia, high 20s except for coastal areas in the southwest, where the temperatures will be between 20 and 24. In the extended forecast for New Brunswick, so we've got some showers for Wednesday, also a chance of showers on Thursday, and a mix of sun and cloud for Friday and Saturday. Some pretty hot temperatures through that stretch of days, though. A chance of showers on Sunday and Monday, a mix of sun and cloud. For Nova Scotia in the forecast, showers on Wednesday, Canada Day. Temperatures held down a little bit lower, but then they bounce back up for Thursday, Friday, and into the upcoming weekend. There will be a chance of showers on Sunday and Monday. And for Prince Edward Island, expecting a few showers on Wednesday, Canada Day, mostly in the morning, and then a chance of showers on Thursday. It's followed by a mix of sun and cloud through the end of the week and into the start of the upcoming weekend with a chance of showers on Sunday. Todd.
Okay, hopefully there's a window there for fireworks on Canada Day night. Thank you, Kalen. Up next, Sylvain Charlebois of Dow's Agri-Food Lab is going to tell us why our Canada Day barbecue is likely the most expensive in Canada. Stay with us.
Okay, so we're back at it. Virgin Radio Stop the Pump starts at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Your chance to win some money at the gas pump.
Also tomorrow, get a 1 in 4 shot at $100 in gas, too.
Welcome back. As you saw earlier in the newscast, grilling is an expensive endeavor around here, perhaps more so than anywhere else in Canada. Sylvain Charlebois, of course, leads the Dalhousie University Agri-Food Lab, and he joins us in studio. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Let's talk about some of these numbers. Leading the country, I'll mention a couple here. Let's take pork, for example. Pork chops, $13 a kilogram. That's $3.50 a kilogram more than British Columbia.
More.
How does that happen?
So we're number one with chicken and pork in this province, in this region, and number two after BC in beef. So it's an expensive place to buy meat in general. I think everyone knows that. And everyone who actually moves out of the region notices that prices are much cheaper elsewhere in Canada. So certainly an issue for meat counter economics in our region. So the peculiar thing right now is that all three components of the meat trifecta, they're going up in price. Beef, it's been going on for a while, about 2 years now.
Well, we've talked about that for a long time, but I thought pork was the cheap alternative.
That it kind of is still, but it's up. Supply side issues, there's more demand for pork. Demand has shifted, so a lot of people are pivoting away from beef, going for chicken or pork. Sure. The chicken situation is tight. I actually visited Eden Valley a few weeks ago. Great facility, but they've admitted things are tight up the food chain with farming and processing. There's just not enough inventory. If you go to Costco to buy that $7.99 rotisserie chicken, they're out by noon. Really, it's really in demand, and people know, so it's been tough for sure for Maritimers.
You've long said to us in the time that you've been speaking with us that it's a matter of production levels here. We just don't produce enough food for what we consume in this region.
That's right.
That's the case behind this.
But there is some good news. I mean, in Cape Breton, we're seeing a first slaughterhouse for beef, for cattle up there. It's opening, I think it opened last week. That's the kind of projects we need more of in our region to really stabilize prices as much as possible.
I've heard a lot about the K economy. A K-shaped economy on a graph where you've got, there's nothing in the middle. And we've heard for a long time about that, the middle disappearing.
The eroding middle class.
Right. So when it comes to food,
it's a big factor.
Yeah, okay. So
huge.
How does it work? I mean, a lot of people are looking for value, but you still get these the high-end stuff's still selling.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people are listening to us right now, and they're not affected by food inflation at all. So they're keeping on buying beef, lobster, whatever they want, really, and they're pushing prices higher because demand is still strong. A lot of people, Todd, ask me, why is it that beef prices are going up and lines at the food bank are getting longer? That's why. It's because of the K-shaped economy. So while the rich, the people who are wealthier, still buying the expensive food, well, the lower end of the spectrum, the demographic spectrum, they're exposed to the same market conditions, and they have to pay more for everything as well. And that's why those are the ones that are really struggling. And those are the ones that are really trading down a whole lot. And trading down means you're buying less of meat, you're buying less meat, or you're basically shifting over to canned stuff, like canned salmon, sardines. Sardines are very popular right now. And of course, vegetable proteins like lentils and chickpeas.
Let's go back to beef, because we've talked a lot about that in the past, and we know that there's not as much, the size of the cattle ranches are smaller, across North America.
Yes.
We've seen more imports from Australia, Argentina,
New Zealand, Mexico. And now Ottawa is negotiating with the Mercosur countries, that would include Bolivia, Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay, to get more beef into the market. And people may say, well, we don't want imported beef. Actually, it may be a good news for even Canadian beef lovers, because it could put some pressure on prices downward as a result. So I'm actually hoping that Ottawa will actually sign something, because it will actually help consumers over the long term. Very concerned about our cattle ranchers, because I mean, those countries aren't following the same guidelines. Right. They don't have the same practices. So that's certainly one thing. But temporarily, it could actually ease pressures.
If I'm in the grocery store and I pick up a package and I see AA as opposed to AAA. Is that an indication, perhaps? Source, because they're not all putting the country's source on.
No, so Mexico doesn't have the same grading system as we do, which is why when you go to a grocery store, you'll find ungraded Mexican beef. That's what it means. It doesn't mean lower quality, unsafe. It just means they don't recognize it. They don't have the same grading system. Some countries do have the same grading system, like the U.S., for example, but not Mexico.
Okay, in the minute that we have left, you've long talked about the need for more competition in the in groceries right across the country, especially here on the East Coast. We're seeing more no-frill stores opening, and now Freshco, which is a Sobeys brand.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of no frills, but for Sobeys, essentially. And this is good news. In 2021, in Canada, we had 22 supermarkets for every 100,000 people. We're down to 18. What that means is there's less competition. No matter who owns and operates these stores, there's fewer options. So if you're looking for that second store, Todd, because you want to get that other deal, you're gonna have to drive farther. So people don't bother. More stores in the system is good news, no matter who operates them. So what we're seeing with Freshco right now and a new no-frill store in Dartmouth Crossing, all good news for everyone. It's going to bring more competition.
It's surprising that the Sobeys waited so long to put their discount.
They have a new CEO, Pierre Saint-Laurent. He's very focused on operations. So he's been there for 6 months. Not surprised by the announcement.
Okay, Sylvain, thank you very much. Always good to know, especially as we head into grilling season. We'll take a break. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes. Health headlines now, and a look at new research from Harvard University on heart health and obesity, plus the importance of immediately seeking medical care after contact with a bat. CTV's Suzette Beliveau has all that in the Lifeline tonight.
We've all been warned of the dangers of obesity, but a new Harvard study may bring some clarity and hope to protect heart health. Obesity is linked to many health conditions, such as diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and strokes. However, the long-term effects of obesity may be more related to the total length of time a person is living with extra weight, rather than a high BMI at any point in their lives. This is especially important for young people. Losing weight at a younger age can decrease risk of heart attacks and strokes later in life. The important message is not to get frustrated with a number on the scale today, but take action now to improve your health for the years to come. While a good diet and daily movement are the keys to a healthy lifestyle, if you are concerned about your weight, reach out to your doctor. Together, you can come up with a plan to lower your risk of heart disease in the future. Doctors are urging Canadians to seek medical care after any contact with a bat, warning that rabies is almost always fatal once symptoms appear. The advice follows a medical report detailing the death of an 11-year-old Ontario boy after a bat landed on his face at a cottage. His family saw no bite marks and did not seek treatment until weeks later when symptoms began. Researchers say prompt vaccination after exposure is highly effective at preventing the disease. They say even brief contact with a bat should be treated as a potential rabies exposure because tiny bites can go unnoticed. A new study out of Finland shows that earlier diagnosis of ADHD led to more success in school. This study shows that students diagnosed with ADHD at a younger age had higher GPAs, obtained higher level degrees, and experienced lower dropout rates. The earlier kids were diagnosed with ADHD, the more likely they were to obtain college degrees. The students with ADHD who had the highest academic achievements were diagnosed around middle school age. The authors recommend having children screened before age 12, as this age often brings big social changes and high academic demands. We know ADHD comes with academic challenges, but earlier diagnosis may lead to early support such as class accommodations, medical treatments, and academic tools. With health and medical news, I'm Suzette Beliveau for The Lifeline.
Time for the scene. A superhero took on the toys at the box office this weekend. CNN's David Daniel has the cinematic showdown and the early estimates for the top 5 films in cinema.
What's happening to me?
People are starved for the truth.
Disclosure Day fell to 5th place on ticket sales worth $8.1 million.
This is what Jackass looks like at 50.
Jackass Best and Last opened in 4th place with $8.4 million.
I think Nikki is going through something. Like, what? Is she okay? No.
Moviegoers are still obsessed with Obsession, which is up to $233 million domestic after a 3rd place weekend worth $9.8 million.
This does not look like this is going to end well for you guys.
Supergirl stumbled out of the gate, debuting with $38 million, well below expectations.
Our time ain't over yet.
Far from it. Toy Story 5 made another $70 million, closing in on $300 million domestic in just 10 days. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
With Aaron and Peter. Join us all this week for the $1,000 Minute with Atlantic Superstore.
Celebrating 40 years and giving you $200 just for playing this week.
On the markets, the Dow Jones opened the new trading week up 306 points. And Ottawa is bringing back a popular program that allows Canadians to retrofit their homes at no cost. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has the details.
There is $500 million in funding available, but currently the program will only operate in 5 provinces. It's already running in Manitoba and will soon launch in Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, Quebec, and BC. It will be available for low to medium income households, giving them the opportunity to put in extra insulation or install heat pumps to save on energy bills. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 70.41. West Texas Intermediate up over $1 to 70.75. Western Canadian Select down over $2 to 54.57. And the TSX is down 156 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Thank you, Kaylin. On the deck, no one will need to turn up the heat tonight.
Yeah, it's quite warm out here this evening. I promised you a picture of a cumulonimbus cloud to end the show tonight, so let's take a look at that. And you can see that storm cloud towering up. This is from today, and it was over Bredor Lake. It was sent in by Leanne Wells Oakley from the Hillside Bullardry area in Cape Breton. The one thing I like about this picture in particular is you can see the top of that cumulonimbus. It's risen high up in the atmosphere. It's kind of blowing off. At that point in time, the cloud is basically comprised of tiny ice crystals and is getting caught up in the faster moving winds higher up, and that produces that effect. So once again, a big thank you to Leanne. For tomorrow, you know what, the area does still have a chance of a pop-up shower or thunderstorm afternoon into evening. High temperature near 22 degrees. Day planner for tomorrow, we start off with fog patches. There will be a low chance of a morning shower or thunderstorm in Prince Edward Island. And then for Tuesday afternoon, warm, a little muggy, and with a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms expected generally in the Maritime region. Let's find out what's ahead on Your Morning Atlantic.
Tuesday on Your Morning Atlantic, let's hit the water. The Canoe 26 World Championships are taking place at Dartmouth's Lake Banook, and we'll get close to the action. Start your morning with us Tuesday on Your Morning Atlantic on CTV2 and Crave.
Then coming up at 6 o'clock right here as the country prepares to celebrate another birthday. How do Canadians feel about the state of the nation? That man right there, pollster Nick Nanos, gauges the national mood. He's our guest tomorrow at 6. And finally tonight, there's a new name in the NHL lineup of players from the Maritimes.
The St. Louis Blues select from Boston University, Tynan Lawrence.
And with that comes our congratulations to the Lawrence family of Fredericton. The 17-year-old forward was the 11th player chosen overall in the NHL draft. He was picked by St. Louis in the first round Friday night. Heavily scouted, he will play for the Blues. Tynan Lawrence currently skates for the Boston University Terriers. Another Frederictonian, goaltender Jake Allen, won the Stanley Cup with the Blues in 2019. Look forward to many years of action from him. That's our look at the day here at home. Callum Smith in this chair at 11:30. The app and the web, anytime for updates. I'm Todd Battis. Hope to see you tomorrow. Good night.
CTV News, the Maritimes' #1 newscast. Watch live on Crave.